welcome to another episode of Teaching Tuesday, Ups and Downs edition. I gotta confess, today's actually a Thursday, but I do what I can. So today I want to talk about something that I mentioned in my last video, the Teaching Tuesday Needs and Wants. Maybe a month or so ago, I was watching a video of Jim Carrey on YouTube. And if you have been keeping up to date with him, there was a video that came about, an interview just on the red carpet somewhere, and he started spitting out some weird things, some things that you typically don't hear, and saying about everything is meaningless, and that there is no him, there is just ideas, and so on, and kind of caught everybody off guard a little bit. Well, I saw another video, watched another one, a little bit longer, where it's more of a sit-down interview, and he's discussing more in depth, I guess, his belief system now. And I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, man, this is... Like, I grew up watching Jim Carrey, like The Mask, and what was in some of the other, like Bruce Almighty, things like that. So, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And then he gets to this point where he says about how he hopes, his desire, his hope is that everyone can get everything they want and everything they think that's going to make them happy, so that they realize it doesn't bring happiness. And I had to stop and think and go, well, wait a minute. Well, that sounds really familiar. That's a very basic, elemental, fundamental, I guess is the word I'm looking for, fundamental aspect of Christianity, that the world, the world has nothing to offer me. My true joy is in Christ. Now, Jim Carrey goes on to talk about how, from what I understand, and I don't want to misrepresent him and his ideas, but that the idea is that there is a God being, but that we're all part of that God being. There is no God as you would read in the Bible. It's just this being of ideas, I guess, that make up this God. So I would not by any stretch of the imagination claim that he's a Christian, but I'll leave that for him to decide and to announce if he so chooses. My point being here is that something that I feel like Christians should experience through Christ, he's experiencing through something else. Now, let me be very clear that I'm not suggesting that there is something else. I do believe Christ is the only way to God, and there's one God, and the triune God, and all that. But I thought, man, like, it really caught me off guard, because all this time I'm watching and I'm thinking, this guy is going off the deep end, and then I go, oh, wait a minute, I believe that same thing. So it really kind of made me start questioning some stuff and going, all right. And then another thing that he had mentioned, and I'm kind of putting all this out, and then over the next couple of weeks we can discuss it. If you participate in the discussion down below, just comment your ideas and thoughts, and we can communicate back and forth that way. But he goes on in saying that there is no Jim Carrey, and basically Jim Carrey is a character that plays characters. And at first glance, I go, that's silly. But then I thought, all right, well, maybe if this other thing had some credibility, maybe I should not be so quick to cast off these other thoughts. And I thought, well, you know what? Maybe that is true. And not so much, I don't want to say that I am a nobody and that Jeremy is a character that plays these people, but in a sense, that is what I do. I play characters. I play character at church, and I play a character when I go to work, and I play a character when I'm with this group of people, and I play a character when I'm with this group of people. And I thought about, like, who am I really? Like, at my core, who am I? Because there's probably only one person who really knows who I am, who I can be truly vulnerable with, and that's Kia, my wife. There's just certain things and social norms and things that we do and don't do while we're around other people, and I thought, like, I can get that. Like, I can get the idea that you get so tired of playing the part. And I think that's open for another discussion, and I think you can go a lot of different ways with that. But what really drew my attention was with the church, and You know, I do. I feel like a lot of people play the part at church, and it's a character that we play. And sure, we might be living decent lives or doing or not doing certain things, but like when we're at church, we're a common phrase, at least in a Casting Crowns song, was, stained glass masquerade, where we show up and we look very pretty and we act like we have it all together, but in reality, we don't. And so why are we afraid to bring our failures and our temptations and our struggles out to the open? It's not like you don't struggle with things. It's not like I don't struggle with things. I have tons of things I struggle with. And to be frank with you, I wish that I could just very openly share those with you. But I don't know if it's a fear of condemnation. I don't know if it's a fear of judging. I don't know if it's a fear of what. But why are we living under this fear? Like, we've been set free from that. We've been set free from sin. We've been set free from condemnation. We've been set free from fear of being ridiculed. I mean, I don't know. So it really kind of got me. I was like, here's this guy who, at least not from anything I've seen or heard, Jim Carrey, who, again, not that I've seen, I don't want to judge or assume, but it doesn't seem like he believes in Jesus or that the Bible God, I guess, if you want to put it that way in layman terms. And yet he seems to be experiencing this inner peace. Now, is that from a different spirit? Is that from... I don't know. But there were a few things that he was saying that I thought made some credibility, gave him some credibility. I'm not saying I'm all in with what he was saying, but I thought as far as a Christian and what I should be experiencing, I want this freedom. I want this feeling that I can be who I am without condemnation. And I'm not saying that I want to go out and live a very carnal, sinful life. But I know that, and this is kind of going on a different topic, something that I've been growing in is, like, I have been saved. Like, I think for a long time in my life, I very much focused on the fact that, like, I don't deserve salvation and I don't deserve God's love, but it's been given to me, so yay, but I really just don't deserve it. And I kind of feel like I've been living my Christian life in the corner of the room, where I was just so thankful to be there. But the whole time I'm there, I'm just thinking, like, I shouldn't be here. Like, I don't deserve to be here. But rather, what my mind frame is trying to be, and my outlook on salvation is that, right, I don't deserve to be here, but I am here. Like, I am here, and I'm going to embrace it, I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to celebrate it, and I'm going to live to the fullest. And I do not think I have been doing that. And I have got tons of reasons why I think that is. Some internal, some external, some long ago, some not so long ago. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I can't point a finger and blame anyone, even myself. Like, I should just kind of move forward and say, like, I've been rescued. I've been saved. I'm a child of God. And these are things that I've said, things I've preached, things I've taught, things I've done all sorts of things about. But I don't know if I truly experienced it. And there's a part of me that goes, all right, well, I'm 30 years old now, and I have been a believer, like at least a solid believer, for the last 10 plus years. Why is it now that I'm just starting to do this? Well, you know, again, it's one of those things where I can look back and go, like, why didn't I get that sooner? The point is, I am now, and so I'm going to embrace it more. I think it's going to change my outlook on life. It's going to change a lot of things about how I go about my daily life, both just individually and as a Christian, which really is the same thing, but just how I approach different aspects of life. And again, I'm not really looking for a permission to just sin. I think Paul in the Bible is very clear against that. However, there needs to be some grace in my life, and I don't think I've allowed myself to have that. And it's there. It's there for me to have. So I know I kind of spitball a lot of things out. I've said a lot of different things, kind of vomited verbally on you a little bit. So I apologize for that imagery and for doing that. That's kind of gross. Feel free to comment down below anything that sparked your interest. This is stuff that I'm digesting in my head and trying to work through, and and I'll be carrying it out as I progress through it. But I would love to know your take on it. Kia and I were having a conversation this past week where she has not felt like, let me rephrase that. She has always pretty much experienced this, like, I'm saved, like, and I'm going to embrace it. And I have this freedom where I have not. So I'd love to know if that, which camp you fall in, and anything else that you might want to add to the conversation. So I really do appreciate you watching and taking time to comment if you do. And I'd love to know your insights and thoughts and experiences, because I feel like that just makes a fuller conversation. So thanks again for watching. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you feel like someone else could benefit from it, share it. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. Bye.